Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Rejoicing the 32nd anniversary of installation of His Majesty as the Chief Scout of the Sultanate, Scouts and Guides Festival is opened in the Wilaya of Musannah. Intra-trade volume between the Sultanate and the United States increased by 30%. And 44 people are killed and more than 200 injured in South Beirut in a twin suicide bombing. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Rejoicing the 45th Glorious National Day and the 32nd anniversary of installation of His Majesty the Sultan as the Chief Scout of the Sultanate, a ceremony was held in the Wilaya of Musannah for the opening of Scouts and Guides Festival under the logo Scouts and Guides of Oman, Allegiance and Loyalty, with the participation of 1,000 affiliates of Scouts representing various stages. Also taking part, Scouts of world regions who participated in the 18th International Gathering for Cultural Exchange and Civilizational Acquaintance. It was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Hilal bin Saeed Al-Hajri, Governor of South Batna at Sultan Qaboos Scouts Camp in Malada. Numerous musical pieces, Scouts displays honoring the participants, chanting and Scouts promise topped events of the opening festivity. Photographic exhibition displayed some of heritage of the participating countries and Scouts camps, which included a number of Scouts villages represented desert, mountains and coastal environments, besides tents contained Scouts programs. Trade volume between the Sultanate and the United States increased by 30%. This was revealed by a seminar on free trade agreement between the two countries organized by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in cooperation with the U.S. Embassy in the Sultanate. It was held at Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry branch of the Wilaya of Nizwa. It also showed that Sultanate's import from the U.S. in 2014 amounted to more than 1.116 billion Omani riyals, while the Sultan's export to the U.S. and re-export were worth 285 million Omani riyals. That came 6 years after the start of the agreement. It is noticed that the trade exchange between the two countries is still below the expectations. The attendees were acquainted with the terms of the agreement and its benefits to strengthen intra-trade through a presentation delivered by the commercial attaché of the U.S. Embassy in the Sultanate. The agreement cancelled a lot of tariffs and customs barriers between the two countries and encourages investment and trade in goods and services more quickly, along with stronger protection for investors. Within the framework of covering various health directorates and institutions in the country in creating the basic elements of Health 5-Year Plan, a workshop was held in the Governorate of Brahmi on preparing the operational plan for 9th 5-Year Plan for Health Development. The 3-day workshop witnessed a good participation from various health cadres in the Governorate. The participated cadres expressed that such workshops develop the health plan in the country. Still to come in our news bulletin. The students of College of Sciences at Sultan Qaboos University organized the 3rd annual chemistry exhibition. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Lebanese Prime Minister Tamam Salam held an emergency meeting with his security cabinet and military chiefs today as Lebanon mourned 44 people killed in South Beirut in twin bombing claimed by the Daesh group, the bloodiest such attacks in years. The Red Cross said at least 239 people were also wounded, several in critical condition. In the blast that hit a busy shopping street in Burj Al Barajna, schools were closed for the day and politicians across Lebanon's political spectrum condemned the attack. The army said the attack was carried out by 2 suicide bombers and that the body of the third, who failed to detonate his explosive device, was found at the scene of the second blast. The blast drew local and international condemnations. Kurdish Peshmerga forces announced that it regained control of the center of Sinjar, which west of Mosul in Iraq from Daesh group. A statement issued by Peshmerga forces said that more than 200 Daesh militias were killed in the military operation which started yesterday, adding that 90% of Sinjar was liberated. At the moment, landmines planted by the Daesh militias at the entrance of the city are being removed. In Syria, the Syrian army and its allied forces regained control of the town of Hazar in Aleppo countryside. The town was considered as a main stronghold of the opposition races topped by the Al-Nusra Front. Syrian military forces said that the armed faction suffered great losses. The Syrian army control of the town makes it very near from the international Damascus-Aleppo highway, which was wearing factions control along parts of it since 2012. The Far University celebrated at its headquarters the graduation of 636 of its students, who represent 11th batch of its graduates with master, bachelor and diploma degrees under the patronage of His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Mustahil Al-Ma'ashani, advisor at the Diwan of Royal Court, member of the Board of Trustees of the university. The chief guest handed over the certificates of the graduates, of whom 198 graduates holding diploma, 292 graduates holding bachelor and 146 graduates holding master. In addition to honoring the outstanding students and those who hold the Academic Excellence Awards, the graduates expressed their happiness for graduation after hard work and efforts they exerted during years of study. The development in techniques of television shooting led to the development of the methods used in it. The mobile phones now are also considered a way of photography. The academic institutions include educational programs on visual production and photography, where are special classes for practical applications of what the students learned during their studies. Through the practical application of techniques learned in the classroom, the students in this field will develop their skills and capabilities. There are various elements of visual production that include lighting, audio, camera angles and movements. Photography exhibition was launched in the Wilaya of Sur in the government of South Sharqiya, which was organized by Photographic Society in cooperation with Heritage and Culture Department. 45 artists' pictures out of 300 were chosen to celebrate the 45th National Day, which reflected the Omani nature and traditional arts in the Sultanate. The exhibition idea was to apply before in the Wilaya of Sahar, aimed to encourage the photographer to show their talents and exchange experiences with the professional photographers in the Sultanate. The students of College of Sciences at Sultan Qaboos University organized the 3rd annual chemistry exhibition. It included various chemical experiments that are beneficial for daily life use. It included pavilions for construction materials, cleaning and foodstuff, in addition to a number of activities and competitions for children. During the event, the students presented chemical experiments using liquids, acids and natural resources to highlight their knowledge in this field, in addition to demonstrate how the chemistry is used in daily life. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate, with chances of cloud accumulation along the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas with scattered rainfalls. Winds along the coastal areas of Sea of Oman will be northeasterly to moderate. Rest of the Sultanate will be northwesterly to moderate. Seas will be moderate to rough along the coast of the Governorate of Musandam with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters, and it will be slight to moderate along the rest of the coast with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Rejoicing the 32nd anniversary of installation of His Majesty as the Chief Scout of the Sultanate, Scouts and Guides Festival is opened in the Wilaya of Musana. Intra-trade volume between the Sultanate and the United States increases by 30%. And 44 people are killed and more than 200 injured in South Beirut in a twin suicide bombing. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.